Welcome back to the Learn with Dylan podcast. Today, I'm going to share something I've been learning about lately that's been really interesting to me. It's called parts therapy. It was created by a guy called Dr. Richard Schwartz, and I've been diving into some training videos by Lizzie, my partner, who is a clinical psychologist. And honestly, I've learned heaps from her already. And the more I learn, the more curious I get. So I figured you might find it interesting too, especially if you've been to a psychologist before and you found it not very effective, then, it might be worth looking into parts therapy. So what actually is parts therapy? So I'll try and explain it as simply as I can. I'm still learning it myself too, but basically Richard Schwartz was a clinical psychologist working with clients, and he started noticing a pattern. When he was doing family therapy, he realized that the way a family organizes itself, it's kind of like how our mind organizes itself, meaning we all have different parts inside of us. And those parts are shaped by our upbringing and all the stuff we've been through. Now, there are two main things that you need to know. So we do have protectors and then we have exiles. And protectors are parts of us that try to protect the wounded parts, the exiles. And the exiles are parts that are usually hurt, usually from childhood. Stuff like being told you weren't good enough, feeling unloved, feeling not important. So all of these painful memories get tucked away inside us as exiles. To protect those vulnerable parts, so we've got two types of protectors. So we have our managers and then we have our firefighters. So managers are the parts that are trying to stay ahead of the problems. Like if you're a perfectionist, that could be a manager part of you, trying to just make sure that you never mess up, because deep down it's trying to protect you, from one time that you might have been told you're stupid or not good enough. Firefighters are like the emergency crew. So if the manager slips up, and you get triggered, the firefighter will jump in and try to put out the fire as fast as it can. And a lot of the time, it doesn't do it in the healthiest way. So this could look like binge eating, drinking too much, zoning out, or just scrolling for hours. So anything to numb the pain quickly, even if it causes more pain or more problems later. So the firefighter's main goal is just to stop the emotional pain right now. So a quick little recap. So exiles are the hurts, wounded parts from your past, and the managers are trying to prevent you from feeling that whole pain. And then you have the firefighters who come in when the pain breaks through to try to put out the fire. And here's the important thing. So none of your parts are bad, even if the way they're coping looks messy or destructive. They're just trying to help you survive in the only way they know. So in parts therapy, what the therapist actually does is usually talk to your parts. And most of the time when you show up to therapy, it's actually the manager part of you bringing you there. The one that's like, all right, something's wrong. We need help. And when you're telling your story, it's often the manager doing the talking. But sometimes the other parts can jump in too, like an angry part that never had its needs met. It's honestly deep stuff, and I'm still scratching the surface, but it makes so much sense why certain behaviors show up, like being a perfectionist. It's not who you are. It's just a part of you trying to protect a deeper, more vulnerable part underneath. And one last thing. So everyone's parts are going to be different depending on your life and what you've been through. But everyone's got protectors, everyone's got exiles, and sometimes parts get stuck in extreme roles because of the stuff that happened when we were younger. Anyway, hope that has made sense and maybe sparked a bit of curiosity for you. If you're someone who's tried therapy before, but you felt like you didn't really get to the heart of things, parts therapy could definitely be worth checking out. I haven't done an official session myself yet, but from what I'm learning so far, it sounds really powerful. So let me know if you want me to keep sharing more about it as I go, and I'll catch you next time.